What is going on, guys? It is your boy Lucid, and on this one, we're gonna find your best stick sensitivity. So, you've got your Astro C40 controller. You're absolutely loving it, and what's not to love? It's a great controller. In my opinion, it's one of the best pro controllers out there. We've done in-depth looks at the controller, we've done in-depth looks at the software, but one of the questions you guys have been asking me a lot is what's the best stick sense? So I've done a few small videos on just what my stick sense is and how to change it. But how do you find the best stick sensitivity for you? So I am going to go ahead and take a look into the software just to show anyone that hasn't seen any of my previous videos what exactly to do to change it. So as always, you're going to want to start by plugging your controller in. Pick the side that you want and then go and click it. So right now I'm going to do number 2. We're going to go to sticks. We're going to click it. Bam. Alright, so we have everything. Now mine is at 12 and 38. Just a hair down. So we're going to bring it. Okay. Bring down 37. Anyways, this is kind of what you want to start at. And then we're going to hit sync. Controller is synced. Oh, I accidentally hit the other one. Hold up. So what do these actually mean? Well, the main thing that they're going to mean is your right stick is going to be your strafing. Yes, it moves you left and right and sprint forward, backwards. But the main difference these numbers are going to make is to your strafe speed. So by increasing these numbers in a gunfight, if I want to go right and then left, as you see where the red dot is, it's much farther. So that means as you push the joystick more left, more right, you're going to strafe faster. Now there is a max out strafe speed, but you're going to reach that quicker. So you might have just those couple steps ahead of the other person. Think of it as adding almost like stock, like a very minimal stock. So that's why you want to increase these. Now you don't really want to increase them to 100 until you get used to it, because then just this is going, well, that right there. So you see where the white dot, that's where actual movement of the stick is going to be max movement. So the right stick though, this is where it really comes into play. So if you make your bottom number too small, you're going to have this dead zone. So as you see right there, there's that much dead zone. You see it's just barely there, but it's there. And I honestly don't like that. So we're going to go ahead and bump this up again a little bit. Now 12 is where I would start though. I would honestly start here. But we're going to try to bump this up just here. Alright, let's try that. Alright. Actually, let's go for 15. Try to meet in the middle. Alright, we're going to go for 15. We're going to hit sync. So now I've showed you how to change it. Now let's go to the other step. So now we're going to take our controller, we're going to plug it back into, for me it's going to be the PlayStation. If you're on PC, then I guess you would just switch it. But this is kind of mainly going for PlayStation and first-person shooters. So for me, I'm going to be using BO4. The ideal behind stick sensitivity and finding the right one for you, and it's what makes this controller special in my mind, because you're able to design it just for you, exactly the way you want to do it. So the number one thing about this controller that I think is performance enhancing in any way is the stick sensitivity. So sensitivity always breaks down to the person using it. It's just for you. I use in-game sensitivities that people use lower and they use higher. So being able to take your controller and manipulate the stick sensitivities is such a big deal because it just personalizes the controller even more to you. It tones it to you. And I want to make sure that you know how to find the best one possible. So we're going to go into custom games on BO4 here. We're going to pick a map that we like. So we'll go firing range. And then we're going to go rules. Take this all the way to unlimited. All the way to unlimited. You're going to go specialist. I would go ahead and get rid of nomad especially, but if you want to get rid of Ajax as well. The others I don't really find too bad. But, and then you're going to go here, you're going to exit. And you're going to add some bots. Now I would only use regular or recruit, nothing over that. And then we're going to jump into a game. So first let's talk about in-game sensitivity. So in first-person shooter games, you have the ability to change your sensitivity. As you see, I'm playing 11, 8, and then a 0.75. So some days I play 10 if I'm feeling a little bit slower than usual, a little sluggish, then I'll play a 10. Most time I play an 11 with an 8 and then a 0.75. Alright, so we got this can class. Now, as you can see, to me, in-game sensitivity, it's best if you just kind of run around. Try hip firing. Make sure that you're staying on your target. You know, when you turn, make sure it's the way that you want to turn. Make sure, you know, like, so for instance, alright, I'm going to look through this doorway. I overdid it there. I'm gonna look top wood, and you see what I'm saying? So the sensitivity matches my movement speed. That's what I'm wanting to happen here. So if I take it and I go too low, so let's go like a 6. Oh my gosh. I can't. No. So, as you can see, like, it's definitely a little bit slower. Is my shot going to be steadier? Yeah, well, yes, it's a lower sensitivity. To a certain extent, it's going to be... I can't even... But as you can see, like, I'm having a trouble maneuvering to where I want to be. I'm not able to just kind of spin and snap onto things. I'm having to unaim down sight to hopefully catch up with the targets that I want. Now if we take this and we go too high, so let's go let's go to a 14. See what happens here. Oh Lord. As you can see, like, I'm definitely struggling to not over adjust this stuff. I mean, so you find the perfect in-game sensitivity. The reason I use an 8 is just because most of the time, if you're centering well, you're not going to have to be looking up and down constantly, if that makes any sense. So that's just something to keep in mind there. I feel like your vertical sensitivity isn't nearly as big of a deal as your horizontal. Now, as far as stick sensitivity, so this right here, I'm actually playing on the first one. This means it has no on my controller, my first setting is it has no changes to the sticks. Now, so as you can see, just barely any movement. You can clearly tell it's very quick. Now if I switch to number 2, you can see where there's less movement there. It's a little bit slower in those smaller ranges, which is what I want, or what I've come to like on this controller, because it makes my shot at longer ranges a little bit more steady. So that's what I'm going off of. Because I play on a higher sensitivity, I like the fact that, you know, I don't have as rapid of a movement at longer ranges. I'm able to just kind of hold it steady easier. I definitely bounce back and forth between, you know, having, you know, 1 and 2 on my controller. But if you're someone that plays a little bit lower sense and has trouble tracking, maybe you want to up it a little bit on those first few. But honestly, if you're having to make much of an adjustment at all to the sticks, then you probably want to start with changing your in-game sensitivity. Because you really shouldn't have much change to the sticks. It should be very minor changes that just kind of make it a perfection. But that, and you know, so if you get on here, you find the perfect in-game sense, and then you hop on and you absolutely hate whatever you did to the controller, well, that's when you're going to go back to the controller. You're going to go back to the menu that we were at on your C40 program and change it until you find that perfect one. Once you find that perfect one, it's just going to be nice and easy and smooth going for you. You know, it's going to be one of those things that you should just fall in love with it instantly, and it just feel right all the way through and through. That's how it should go. So, step 1, find your in-game sensitivity. Step 2, choose one of the classes on your controller and alter it. Step 3, hop in a lobby of bots and go to slaying out. Now, make sure to pick the gun that you're most common to use. You want to pick the gun that you're going to use in-game most often. And then make sure everything's set up right. And if you want, change class 1 to one thing, change class 2 to another, and keep going back and forth altering it just little bits. You never want to alter it a lot. Like I said, if you're having to alter it a lot, then you need to change your in-game settings. But if you do these steps, I promise you will find that perfect stick sensitivity for you. For me, it's easier to use my laptop than my PC. I just pop, plug it back and forth. For you, it might be your laptop, it might be your PC. Either way, you're going to be bouncing back and forth a lot. But once you find it, it's going to feel perfect for you, and you will notice an incredible difference. So I hope this video helped you guys. If you haven't yet, make sure to smack that like button. If you are new around here, make sure to hit that sub button. From the last video, I believe it was like 67% of the people that watched the video were not subscribed. So if you haven't yet and you've been enjoying my content, make sure to hit that sub button. It means the absolute world to me. But I hope to catch you guys in the next one. Till then, deuces.